welcome to Family Nest YouTube channel. This is your co-host Deepika Mahajan, and today I'm here in conversation episode with Mr. Jatin Mohan Seth, Director Family Nest Real Estates.
Hello.
And with his friend from US, Mr. Roy Rampal. Hello sir, it's a pleasure to have you. And let me tell you about Mr. Roy. He's a professor and he's teaching in State of Missouri, Global Marketing and Public Relations. So it's wonderful to have you here in the corporate office of Family Nest Real Estates.
Lovely place, good to be here.
So friends, Mr. Roy is here with us at Family Nest Real Estate's corporate office in New Chandigarh, and we have few questions related to realty sector in Chandigarh Tri-City. And let me tell you that the discussion and the information that we're going to share with you is purely the fact base. And now over to Jatin sir, who's going to take us through this session entirely.
Thank you, Deepika. Thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time. And
Pleased to be here.
Yes, sir. So I must share that I met Mr. Roy about 10 years back in Confederation of Indian Industry CII event, since we are a corporate member with CII. And we are fortunate to have him as a mentor and as a friend since that time. And since he also teaches in global marketing and public relations, so we keep sharing ideas about marketing with each other. But sharing will not be the right word. We seek guidance from him from time to time because he is a pro in that.
Great.
So we welcome him, and he's actually looking to understand the Indian real estate market in general and specifically the realty market in Chandigarh Tri-City, how it has grown phenomenally over the last 10 years, defying all the peers in the market, and all the other Punjab and nearby markets, they have just lagged behind Chandigarh. It's growing very well. So sir is here to understand this so that he can include this in his writings and in his subject matter, so he can correlate that with his teachings in US also.
Alright friends, so Mr. Roy, I am so keen to tell my audiences about your association with Jatin sir and how long you've known him, and please tell us there.
Well, thank you, Deepika, and thank you, Jatinji. I really feel nice to be here. It's wonderful to be here in your corporate office. This is one of the fanciest offices that I've seen in this area. I feel like I'm sitting in France. My connection with him really began through, we met at a conference.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was, as you said, I've been teaching marketing, public relations, and a number of other courses in communication. So I come to India to do research, and we have collaborated in writings. So that's how I've known him over the years, and kept up with him about the realty business in India.
I would just like to pitch in, sir, the articles which we wrote together. If I see, it was 28th October 2020 when we wrote this article, which has been prophetic in real estate times.
Absolutely.
Right now. We said festive cheer defies COVID-19. So that time it looked like a depressing scenario when COVID was all around. At that time we researched out and we thought out this article, and you were in US.
Yes.
And we just collaborated, and we came out that this is a temporary phenomenon and the market is going to bounce back very nicely. And I think our article is prophetic now. After more than 1 year now, we have seen a very consolidated and profitable real estate market. So thanks to you, sir, you are getting the right feel about the Indian market now.
I totally agree with what you said.
Yes.
I was just reading, I think, just a few days ago, that global investments in the Indian realty business, they are at an all-time high.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
So Jatinji, if I can move along and ask you a few questions, may I, Deepika?
Yes, absolutely, sir. We would love to have that session along.
Because I have potential NRI investors in the West or elsewhere
Yes, sir.
in mind when I ask these things. So first of all, please tell us, what are the major regulations that NRIs, and when I talk about NRIs, I don't mean Indian citizens who are settled abroad, you know, because they're working there. I also include Indians, people of Indian origin who have renounced their Indian citizenship, who have become citizens of other countries but still maintain ties with India, perhaps would like to invest. What are some of the rules and regulations that they have to keep in mind?
So broadly, I can say the people who are not Indian nationals, people of Indian origin, if they're not falling in that category, then the investments need to be routed through private equity and real estate funds. So that involves a lot of technicalities. But if a person is of Indian origin, NRI and settled abroad, it is a lot more simpler for him to invest in India. And he just needs to prove his documentation that he is a valid citizen, holding a valid
Or of Indian origin,
Indian origin. He has to
even if he's a foreign citizen.
Yes, sir. He has to prove his documentation and all.
Would those people of Indian origin need any prior permission from the RBI, for example?
No, they don't need prior information, sir. No such requirements are there.
Yeah.
But you need to, wherever you file your taxes, you have to inform the authorities that you have bought a property. So that is just a requirement. If you file your taxes in US or if you file your taxes in India, you just need to inform them that you have bought some XYZ property in India.
If a potential NRI decides to look into Indian realty business, let's say in this Tri-City, Chandigarh Tri-City area, and short of traveling to India to come and see you, how can he get to know all the information that he would need?
Well, simplest way will be ask him to invite me to USA. I'll be love to travel over there and meet him. And secondly, if nobody can travel because of pandemic, then he can execute a power of attorney to any of his friends or relatives in India. So that power of attorney process is a little bit lengthy because it involves getting a legal document validated in the name of his relative from the place of his origin, and that has to be vetted by the secretariat concerned in the capital city in Chandigarh. It is vetted and embossed by secretariat. Basically, both the sides have to verify the presence of the person.
You know, in the past, and I don't mean the very, very old past, in just until recent years, Indian developers, they kind of got bad publicity oftentimes for signing up, with clients and not delivering the finished product on time and so forth. But I understand that the government has tried to take care of that problem by passing an act. Is it called the RERA Act?
Yes,
Could
sir.
you please tell us something about that?
तो अगर हम रेरा को सिंप्लीफाई करके बोले तो आज की डेट में अगर किसी डेवलपर ने कोई नया प्रोजेक्ट लेके आना है अपना, और अगर किसी ने उसमें परचेज करना है, तो मैंडेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट्स ये है कि वो जो प्रोजेक्ट है रेरा में उसके प्लान सबमिटेड होने चाहिए. तो वी कॉल इट रेरा रजिस्टर्ड. बेसिकली उसमें होता क्या है कि जो डेवलपर है वो अपने सारे प्लान्स जो है कि व्हाट दे आर गोइंग टू एग्जीक्यूट इन द प्रोजेक्ट, दे सबमिट ऑल द डिटेल्स till possession, what will be they doing, what will be the timelines, वो सारा सबमिट करते हैं रेरा के ऑफिस में. तो उसको हम रेरा रजिस्ट्रेशन कहते हैं. तो इट इज़ हेल्पफुल फॉर अस बिकॉज हमें पता है कि उसमें डेवलपर का क्या माइंडसेट है एंड व्हाट ही इज गोइंग टू मेक अल्टीमेटली फॉर यू, एंड गवर्नमेंट इज नोटिफाइड फॉर दैट. गवर्नमेंट को वो एक तरह से अपना प्लान बना के देता है. और रेरा एग्रीमेंट की रजिस्ट्रेशन जो है वो प्रॉपर्टी की अल्टीमेट पोजेशन पे रजिस्ट्रेशन से पहले ही हो जाती है. इट इज़ पार्ट ऑफ इट्स यू कैन से a preliminary registration document which he can use till the registration is finally done. तो एक तरह से वो एक satisfaction create करता है even for NRIs also, sir, कि they are investing in the right channels.
They're going to legally bind
They are legally,
the developer and the client.
तो
To
clients
deliver the product to the client.
yes sir, clients की थोड़ी जो confidence level बढ़ जाता है उससे. और जो बिल्डर है उसको भी एक टाइमलाइंस जो है उनको ऑनर करना पड़ता है. अगर वो टाइमलाइंस को ऑनर नहीं करता तो उसमें स्ट्रिंजेंट पेनल्टीज होती है. अगर वो लेट करता है तो उसका भी बेनिफिट होम बायर को या इन्वेस्टर को मिल जाता है।
So basically उससे जो हमारी authenticity है वो बढ़ जाती है, right?
And confidence बढ़ जाता है।
Exactly. So if you are looking for investment in a property, whether it's commercial, it is residential, friends, तो आप ये check कर सकते हैं whether that project is RERA registered or not, whether it has that RERA number or not. Then that can help you to bring that confidence and then come to see that property. And also ये एक builder के लिए लागू नहीं होता है, हालांकि ये आपका एक channel partners के लिए भी होता है. So if you are going to a property through a channel partner, so you must always verify whether that channel partner is RERA registered or not. So if I'm right, sir, a lot of these things are mandatory for the channel partner.
Yes, channel partner को भी रेरा में registration करवाना पड़ता है. Then only he can work in the real estate business. It is not like कि भाई आप कोई भी real estate join कर ले. You have to be professionally attached with RERA, and you have to seek a registration for them, and it has to be renewed every 2 to 3 years, and it is valid for all the states. Every state has its own RERA offices.
Alright, so I'm sure that's very helpful, sir, to the audiences who are watching us there. And
And
now
we even have a legal team also. हमारे पास लीगल ओपिनियन के लिए भी है, अगर कोई NRI इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है या कोई दूसरी स्टेट से यहाँ इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है, कोई HNI इन्वेस्टर है, तो उसके लिए अगर कोई उसको लीगल कुछ जानकारी चाहिए तो उसके लिए हमारे पास लीगल टीम भी है. We can consult that.
Alright friends, so now I'm sure Mr. Roy and so our audience who's watching us there wants to know about the Family Nest team. So over to Jatin sir and let us know about the teams that are working here to make this brand a successful brand.
Throughout my real estate career, which I started in 2007, I have been very fortunate in having very good teams, sales teams with me from time to time. So I'm very fortunate from time to time. Even my present team, which we have a sales team at the Family Nest Real Estate's office, we have a very dynamic team. I have all the dynamic youngsters. They are very hardworking, and that helps me a lot because you can always execute a plan only if you have the team.
Well, that's wonderful. If I can add this, a team performance, of course, is very much driven by the nature of the administrator. And Jatinji, I say this to you very sincerely. I found you a remarkably professional man in your field. You're a thorough gentleman, you're very reliable, courteous, and I don't think anybody would go wrong in working with you.
Thank you, sir. And in addition to my sales team, we have our digital team, we have our in-house CRM team to look after the day-to-day issues of our investors with various developers. Then we have our YouTube channel also, which Deepika is spearheading that. And the collective objective of all these, verticals is that we want to give the best of the experience to our customers, and we also like to keep them updated about the real-time happenings in the real estate sector in our area. So even if they're invested here 5 years ago and not living in Chandigarh, we try to keep them updated with our videos, YouTube channel subscribers. So that is our prerogative, actually.
I've seen your videos on YouTube. I think they are very, very informative. They're well done. I mean, they're interesting. But I think those are certainly the key things that the viewer would want to have in mind. You know, whether or not he or she finds significant information, you know, about the realty business from YouTube and YouTube videos, and I think your videos certainly do that.
So you remember we together wrote the article Indian Realty to Woo Western Retirees. So do you recall this article which we wrote together?
I remember that. I remember
So-
that was published
Yes.
in quite a few publications.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it was quite popularly read across. People appreciated that article.
And somebody picked it up in the United States also. I remember
Yes,
that.
because you put a lot of facts and figures from your US, so that was very pretty exciting. So I must say, when is the time to walk the talk for you?
To walk the talk.
So
For me-
when are you retiring from US and coming to India? We need people like you to come back. Reverse brain drain has to happen.
Well, I retired from my job, I think, more than 10 years ago. Although I teach online
Yes.
every now and then. But I keep moving between India and I live in the United States, I come to India. I think I'll keep maintaining that pattern.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
At least for a few
Yes.
years, and then ultimately I'll have to make a decision because one cannot continue traveling always. I think I will have to decide that in a matter of a few years.
You have to honor your article, what you have written, sir.
Yes,
So you
absolutely.
have to settle down.
No, there are many attractions about moving to India. Absolutely, as we wrote in the article. But of course, I like my American lifestyle also. Easy to give that one up. But I love India also, so we'll have to see how things move. But they'll have to
I must add, sir, that considering I know a lot of other people who are my contemporary age who are settled in USA and abroad. But I must say Roy sir is very well tuned to Indian situation, Indian politics, Indian market scenario. He is very, very aware of all those things. I think you catch up very well even if you're not in India, sir. I must compliment you for that.
Well, thank you very much. It's natural because that's my field. Mass communication, journalism, and so forth.
So friends, this was yet another conversational video which had expert information from the experts itself, and we are very grateful to Mr. Roy today for coming here to the corporate office of Family Nest Real Estates. And thank you very much, Jatin sir, for your wonderful insights related to NRI clients, and also giving the insight to our audience regarding the RERA. So that's another one beautiful video from the Family Nest Real Estate's YouTube channel team. So if you're looking forward for such more beautiful content, then yes, please subscribe to our channel. Until then, we are again, thank you so much, Mr. Roy, and thank you, Jatin sir, for your time. Stay tuned with our channel.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Nest.
Thank you.